Hi, everyone. I wanted to share a little bit about what we're doing here at the North South Foundation. And it's really a culmination of what we've learned over at least 30 years as a foundation. And for me, my experience of over 40 years. So, what do I mean by that? My experience is informed really by wearing a bunch of hats way back in the 1980s as a National Spelling Bee contestant when there weren't a lot of diverse contestants in the National Spelling Bee. That, of course, has changed over that time period. I was an early volunteer in the North South Foundation here back in the 90s, around the time it was started. Our very first competitions were in 1993, and I got to be the pronouncer for the very first National Spelling Bee we held back in 1993. I've gone to school in the United States. I was born and raised here, did a bachelor's and MD combined program at Northwestern. And then since I finished in 1999 and finished a fellowship in 2000, I've been a practicing physician and physician educator at a local and national level. I've lectured nationally and internationally in multiple subjects. I maintain board certification in internal medicine, sports medicine, and hospice and palliative medicine. And so I teach at all levels to practicing physicians as well as medical students on a weekly basis. I'm a National Spelling Bee parent. Both of my children have competed on the national stage in the last several years. And of course, since 2020, I've been CEO of the North South Foundation. So back in the 1980s, we did things the way we always did it in India, the way my parents were raised. The expectation was put forth a lot of effort and grit. And if you keep at something, you can succeed. And in my case, in 1985, that culminated in the winning of the National Spelling Bee. And that kind of reinforced our historical community playbook, which my parents were always taught. You mug it up and then you work hard. And if you stick with it, then you will succeed in anything that you do academically. But what we've learned meanwhile at the North South Foundation, we were working on trying to ensure educational access for everyone. So we started back in 1993 spelling contest where volunteers would help hold these events, and then the money from contest registrations would go to fund scholarships for the poor in India. And what we wound up doing in the process is two big things. Number one, a bunch of our kids here in the United States did well on the national stage: spelling, geography, math, chemistry, you name it. And you can see on the next slides a winning streak for years at the National Spelling Bee. The odds of doing that, or one community can do that, is 1 in 1 quindecillion. That is 48 zeros after the one, for those of you math wizards, and 8 straight National Geography Bee champions, multiple champions across chemistry, math, and history, science. So we won in 2019 14 academic national championships here in the United States. So much so that we got featured in 2021 in the New York Times. So that's great, right? We learned as a community, or at least we thought we did, that if you learn your basics of educational fundamentals and you add effort and grit, well, then you'll be successful. Now, that said, around the same time or during that same period, over 30 plus years, we were able to award 20,000 scholarships in India for kids who otherwise wouldn't have been able to access or fully complete an education. So that was great. We learned that if we work hard and we give back, then we've done something incredibly good. But meanwhile, especially over the last 5 years, the digital world took hold, the community prospered, and then the definition of success changed for all of us. So what do I mean by that? Why am I asking that? One of the things that I've been looking at, and a lot of us started to notice, was we had a bunch of graduates through our foundation and beyond. Our community did really well. And having done that and been successful according to what our community would define as successful, educated, making money, were they happy? were their parents who were nearing retirement fulfilled, and were all of the smart parents who had worked really hard to make sure that the immigrants' American dream was delivered, along with Indian American foundational backgrounds, were all these smart parents with all their fundamentals at the top of their professional fields. And in putting all that together, what we learned is that success requires a lot more than just fundamentals. You need fundamentals and basics, or education is not possible, but you need to be able to apply it practically, or education is not usable. And finally, and probably most importantly, if you don't apply all of this empathetically or with a selfless approach, if all of what you do is selfish, then fulfillment is unsustainable. You can't actually be happy only studying and trying to make money. So we augmented our education messaging and our foundation's messaging. It used to be about education, and eventually we talked about excellence in education. But we really started to focus on the intersection of excellence, education, and empathy, or 3 E's. In 2020, we were handed, unfortunately, a golden opportunity to do something given the real difficulty for people in accessing education, including here in the United States. And so our young change makers, who are North-South, back then high schoolers for the most part, but North-South teens, had put together a group called Young Changemakers, April 2019. The goal was to design and promote empathy, leadership, teamwork, and creativity. And they were trying to give back. They had incredible opportunities and incredible, a solid upbringing, as well as they had a lot. They had education, they had means. And so they realized, even before the pandemic, that what we need to do to make the world a better place is to give back. And when 2020 hit, they raised $25,000 towards a goal of buying 1,000 devices so that kids who couldn't afford it here in the United States could go to school. Our foundation matched that, and so we were able to buy 1,000 Chromebooks that we could give away to poor communities here in the United States and allow kids who otherwise wouldn't have been able to do remote learning, they were able to do remote learning. Our Young Changemakers journey, I won't go into a lot of it here, but this is for our kids who go through our basic educational activities here at North-South through grade school. And then after they're done in middle school or in high school, there's a 4-year program at the end of which they really know how to make change in their communities, influencing through social entrepreneurship. So overall, our focus now is on learning and growing for our kids, not just competing. And so we're building a learning journey. They start in kindergarten, first grade. If they start in fourth grade, it's not too late. But our goal is that they really know the fundamentals of STEM and English and language arts and social sciences. And our contests are now a knowledge checkpoint. We're working on weekly challenge quizzes through our coaching and eventually through other asynchronous means, including an app. You'll learn more about one of our spelling apps in a little bit, which my son will share some details with you. And then after 8th grade, our goal is to invest in empathy. So excellence and education to start, and then empathy thereafter. And then if they follow with Young Changemakers, then social entrepreneurship as well. In other words, we're developing and growing holistic learners that will be able to give back over a lifetime. So our learning journey will be ongoing, and if we can get those fundamentals, then that same rubric can be used for people who are gifted and are learning at a 6th grade level and 3rd grade. They can also be used for us to give it back here in the United States for people who might need remedial curricula. And all of this effort still allows us to send funds to India for the underserved there and give scholarships there. It allows all of our volunteers to become holistic learners. And it gives them a window into Seva at a very young age. And so they'll walk away with a combination of lifelong fundamentals, pragmatic application, and selfless service. So we've augmented our foundation messaging further, not just education, not just excellence in education, but 4 E's, the excellence of the intersection of excellence, education, empathy, and social entrepreneurship. 4 E's. I'll leave you with a few quotes to look at. One of my favorites is Martin Luther King. The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build those we've educated to walk away with intelligence and character. The 4 E's. Thanks very much.
Thanks to Dr. Balu for sharing about our mission and our purpose and our values. I think that actually summed up quite well as to what all the volunteers of North-South Foundation strive for. And to continue this, I would invite Sai Sharma, our contest coordinator, to share about the knowledge checkpoints that Dr. Balu mentioned. Sai, over to you.
Sure, thank you. I'm going to do a quick screen share.
Let me presentation. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Go ahead, Sai.
Thank you. Okay, are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Are you able to see the presentation, or which is the one you're seeing right now?
This is the actually browser, which is launcher.
Okay.
Probably will share the other screen. Okay.
Okay, all right. All right, you should be able to see the screen now.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to cover over the next 10 minutes to 15 minutes on the regional contests. So as Dr. Balu mentioned, the regional contests serve as a checkpoint to test the knowledge in the learning journey. I hope you're able to see my screen where I'm actually have a quick presentation. And Vinay, are you able to see the screen right now? The contest summaries. Perfect, good, yeah. Thank you. And the key part is I do want to highlight that our contests typically are held during the month of March to the early May. That's a typical time frame. And I will, in the next slide, I will show you also what is the different dates that we have for the regional presentation for this year. And I do want to point out that soon after the regionals are conducted, there is also the next level, which is the finals, which typically gets held in the month of August. And this year also, we do have the finals being conducted during the first weekend of August. And that will be held in Minneapolis. And typically we have around 15 to 20% of the contestants from the regionals who qualify for that. And I do want to highlight another point of it, which is not that only the top 3 ranks from the regionals from the different chapters go in to the finals. We have what we call as a national cutoff score. So what happens is once all the contests are conducted across all the different regionals, we collate all the scores at the national level, and then we take the top 15 to 20% from each of the different grades, not just the level here. What I mean by that is, like, if you, for example, if you see that for spelling, we have a junior spelling bee and a senior spelling bee, right? And for junior spelling bee, we have grades 1, 2, and 3. So it's not necessarily that perhaps the top 15 to 20% in the grade alone, sorry, in the level alone, in this case, the junior spelling bee alone, right? So we actually come up with a formula for ensuring that grades 1 and 2 also have equal participation in the final. So the same percentage gets calculated at each of the grade levels also. So therefore, each grade have equal level of participation in the finals. Okay. So and we do conduct the contest across the 7 different streams: spelling, vocabulary, geography, math, science, computer science, and public speaking. And these are the different levels that we have that you see in the second column, and also the different grades that are associated with each of the different contests. And there are some of them do have an oral phase, where in addition to the written phase, and we have indicated that here for them. So basically, spelling, vocabulary, and geography, there are multiple rounds for this oral phase. Okay. And another important aspect is, it's all about learning, as we were mentioning before, right? Like Dr. Balu was also mentioning, it's all about learning. So therefore, there is no elimination for any of the phases. So all kids actually go from phase 1 to phase 2, and there are no eliminations at all at the regional level. Okay. Now moving on to the, and then I do want to point out about the public speaking. So the public speaking, basically, if you look at it, there's a 30-minute prep time, and each kid is actually allowed to speak for 3 minutes, and that's for grades 6 through the 12th at the 2 different levels. And we have set up a process by which each kid only gets a maximum of 30 minutes to prepare. So the process will be, once you register yourself, you will the volunteers at the local chapter will tell you how we ensure that each kid only gets 30 minutes preparation time, and there is no undue advantage for the kids going in earlier on. Okay, I just wanted to kind of quickly point to that one. All right, so next one. So what are the different contest dates and the registration deadline? So the first column here indicates what are the different contest weekends. So some chapters conduct in 2 dates between 3/23 and 3/24. The others, the second weekend is a 4/6, and the third weekend is 4/27. So you need to look at the schedule for the chapter near you, so there you can, and then you can register for whichever is the chapter that is closer to you. And you definitely want to take a look at what is the registration and as well as a contest date for that particular chapter. The deadline is actually 3 weeks before the contest dates, and this time around we are actually extending the deadline by 1 more week, but that will come with a late fees of $5. Again, we strongly encourage you all to register before the deadline date, so therefore it will allow you to do the necessary preparations to ensure that you are learning the best that you can. And this is a link that I have mentioned here, where you would actually you can actually get to the contest weekends. And I do want to point out that we have come up with what is called as a solution day, and that we have been having it for the past couple of weeks, a couple of years, I should say, at least. That has been a very welcome an opportunity for all the kids to learn, basically what happens is the solution day gets conducted for specifically for math and science, primarily for that one. And what we do is we do take the actual paper that was provided during the contest weekend, and we go over some of the tough problems that we have actually identified, and we kind of go over the solution for that. So we strongly encourage the kids who actually have gone through the contest to attend that. And again, of course, it's all included in your contest registration itself. There is no additional cost for the solution day also. Okay. All right. Now, next is I do want to highlight what are the different awards that are getting presented. Now, for the past couple of years, at least, if not more, we have introduced what I would like to call as a learning journey certificate. And that is given at the contest level. And what we do is we actually give the top scorer at each grade level the learning journey certificate. Meaning, for example, if you take off, for example, if it's a spelling bee, junior spelling bee, which consists of grades 1, 2, and 3, what we do is we take the top scorer from grade level 1. Grade 1 will get the one learning journey certificate. Similarly, grade 2, the top scorer will get a learning journey certificate. And again, why do we do that? Because one of the different feedback that we have received across the years is, yes, my kid actually is in the JSB, where we have 3 different grades competing for the same contest. How do I know where my kid actually stands with regard to my grade level, right? So that's one of the ways we recognize the top scorer from that. Okay, that is one way of doing it. And also, secondly, once you see the score which will be published after the contests are all completed, you'd also know what is your percentile that you got and the rank that you actually got within that particular one. So there are different ways that we actually highlight and kind of help the parents understand how their child actually has fared within that particular contest. Okay, and then also this is a little brief on how the first rank, second rank, and third rankers is awarded, basically. Okay, and like I said before, not just the ranks alone matter to get to the finals. It's really the cutoff score. Okay, so meaning if you're in the top 10 or 15% after all the scores are collated at the national level, and based on that, you will be invited for the finals. Okay. Moving on to the next one, I wanted to kind of quickly highlight some of the resources that you have in preparation for the contest. In addition to the coaching, and my colleague Narayana will be talking a lot more about the coaching and other streams that we offer for learning. And in addition to that, I just wanted to quickly highlight some of them here. Okay, and we strongly recommend that you also subscribe to our YouTube channel, where we have a lot of resources that are there from which are primarily past presentations, and as well as past when some of the workshops, they may be also there. Okay, and we do also have sample test papers. As soon as you register, you are able to do that, you get to that. And also we have something called as a structured learning program that also is available for you to download and prepare yourself. Okay, in addition to that, we also conduct locally and remotely conducted workshops. That's also an option for you. And as Dr. Balu mentioned, we will also be talking about a little bit about the app that we'll be covering in a few minutes. Okay. All right. That's pretty much it I had at this point in time. Of course, please do post any questions that you may have on the chat, and we will try to answer to you as much as possible.
Thank you, Sai. I would like to invite Narayana Janga, our coaching coordinator, to share about all the learning opportunities that you have with North-South. But briefly, I would like to actually have you all answer this poll so that we know what grade levels your kids are in. If we can take like a few seconds to answer this. So Narayana Janga has, along with all the coaching team, has been doing a great job in revamping all the material that we have in the last couple of years. And we also have on the panel Dr. Sri Priya Raman, Dr. Priya Krishnan, and we have young volunteers like Atman, Dave Shah, Chakri, and who have all helped in actually taking our coaching offerings forward. And so we have started offering AP courses. We have started offering AMC and AME prep and so on. So all of that information will be presented soon. So we have about 73%. Let me just give 5 more seconds to get to 80%. So if we can all indicate what grade levels your kids are in so that we know who is interested in learning what opportunities we have. Okay, 76. Few more seconds maybe. And also Narayana Janga is I mean, we are all proud of Nihar, who's Narayana's son, who was Scripps Spelling Bee in his 5th grade, Scripps champion in his 5th grade, and also the National Geography Bee champion in his 8th grade. Okay, 80%. Okay, so let me share the results. So we have 22% in the 0 to 3rd grade and 20% 4th to 5th grade. Middle schoolers 41%, high schoolers 10%, and then others 7%. Okay, great, thank you. Over to you, Narayana. Let me just make you presenter and then you can share your.
Thank you, Vinay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. And now you are the presenter.
Okay. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So before I start, as Vinay said, we have a lot of very committed and dedicated volunteers on this call. I think, Doctor, I'm not sure Vinay which order you want us to go, if you want to talk about the offerings first or introduce people first, but I do have Dr. Sri Priya Raman, who coordinates all our AP classes on the call here. I have Dr. Priya Krishnan, who is doing our science classes, and some of you may have heard this new Olympiad classes we just offered, which got full very quickly, and our entire science curriculum that Dr. Priya Krishnan is helping us revamp. I also have Vinay, who is coordinating our prep clubs and workshops. And I think prep clubs are still open for the next couple of days, and they will be closing soon for registrations. So if you have not already registered, this is for contest preparation that we do in spring. Those classes are open for registrations. And we also have workshops until throughout March and April. And I think one started like yesterday for Kentucky. So yeah, we have workshops and prep clubs all over. So if you're trying to register, if you're not finding it, please email workshops@northsouth.org, and then we will try to find one that suits you. So that's what is going on now. And I also have Atman and then Chakri, who are going to kind of show you how we are transforming our offerings to help the children learn more in an interactive and asynchronous environment, along with the live coaching that we do. So I think most of you are probably familiar I'm not sure if we did a poll, how many are new parents and how many are existing parents that joined today. So I'm actually going to focus more on what we are planning for the next year on my slides in the interest of time, and also when I can tell you about the prep clubs and workshops. So I want to go through what exactly is going on at North South and how we are changing based on the parent input we are getting and based on what is going in the society and based on the needs for our children for the future, as Dr. Balu said. So I want to give you a little bit glimpse of what we are doing. And we're always available here to answer any contest or prep club related questions that are going on now. So one of the things that we are realizing, so we do offer, we do have a lot of offerings at North South. We do coaching. We do these prep clubs that gets you ready for the contest. And then in the summer, we have like more intensive courses that get your kids ready for like math counts competitions, and then the learn more about science, like in an interactive way and those kind of things. But what we are learning now for high school students, by the time they go to college, we're learning that in addition to the intellectual abilities, which is like our STEM, math and science, ability to do analytical thinking and that kind of stuff, and language skills, which is becoming very important now, that may be writing essays, speaking in a very clear, concise voice, expressing their opinions. It's all like vocabulary and all that. That we know that is has been the goal for us. But what we are also learning is emotional learning with what happened with COVID and aftermath that happened, and how kids have to cope with what is happening in the schools. And then once they go to college, I don't know how many of you heard about imposter syndrome. They start wondering, okay, am I good enough for college and all those things. So we want them to get ready for the college and even in the high school to deal with those emotions and be ready and then be leaders, right? That's the main thing that we are trying to do here, include that emotional learning into our learning journey from first grade to 8th grade. We may not be able to do all of those things in first grade, but the idea is that we build a ladder of offerings for 8 years for our children, so they can take that path with journey with North South. So the way that we are forming these classes moving forward, along with, we will still offer individual coaching and all that, because we also still want to encourage excellence. We don't want to take that away, but we also want to build this foundational courses where kids can learn concepts just because they like to learn. And then we want to make sure that at least they're getting through those basic things that they need to learn before they go to college. So the way these offerings are formed, I think we also have, for elementary and middle schoolers, they will just explore various concepts so they can get their feet wet and understand what they need to learn. Probably that's mostly aligned with intellectual and language. And once they go to high school, maybe 8th graders also, because they have to step into high school, they will have an opportunity to get ready for college by working with college kids from top universities, Ivy League. We're planning to bring those kind of talent into these classes and teach the kids on what they have done to get themselves ready for this grueling curriculum through the high school and then going through college, what they're going through the college, right? So those kind of things we want to facilitate these classes. So really the goal of the program is to help kids learn the basics and also advance by giving them the opportunity to elevate their voices, speak for themselves. We want them to be confident. We want them to be leaders. We want them to understand how the society is functioning and how they can lead communities. So that's our goal, and build upon their social and emotional competence and feel support with their community. So that's what we're trying to do with these learning journey offerings. It's going to take a time. It's going to be small steps, and also things may not work as expected in the first few tries, but I think we will get there with Dr. Balu's guidance and with the great team we have at North South. I'm pretty sure it's just a matter of time. So let me go to the next slide. So one small effort towards reaching that, doing that journey and climbing the first step this summer, we are going to offer 2 packages for each grade level. So my grade levels, as you can see at the bottom, there's for 1 to 3 grade, 4 to 6 grade, 7 to 8 grade, and 9 to 12 grade. We want to offer, we understand there are basically two kind of categories in the in the parents and in the student segment, right? So one is like they want to learn the foundational things. They want to learn a lot of things and then get through the school. And they really want to learn stuff, a lot of stuff. And it's kind of lateral learning. But then we also understand there are kids that just want to pick one topic and then really go deep and learn it at an advanced level. So traditionally, all our coaching offerings have been focused on that advanced level, but we're also, if we have to serve the whole community, and if we want to break through into Title I schools and things like that, then we have to do this foundational offerings. And it may help our kids also. There are a lot of kids that are needing help with homework and things like that in some of the subjects at middle schools and high schools. So by breaking those two as two different things and offering a foundational path and an advanced path, I think we will be able to address the needs of more kids. So, and the way traditionally we have the kids have the choice of picking and choosing things, but because of this path, and we want to make sure that they're actually focusing on all these core elements that will get them ready for the high school and colleges. We are going to package them. They will definitely learn math, science, and something with English in each of these packages. But we also want to introduce what is relevant, like be it technology, soft skills that they need, or the social entrepreneurship that we were talking about. So we will have some mix of like for especially the higher school, higher grade kids. We'll have like open forum discussions and research, and so they can interact with each other. They can learn from each other, and they can focus on what is going on in the society and then learn how to do research, which is really important nowadays. So there's not going to be a lot of picking and choosing with these packages, right? Like I said, it will have 2 minimum core subjects and then 1 elective. We really want to make sure they're being a holistic individual. So these packages will be predetermined. They're all actually predetermined. I'm going to share what we have in the slides. So I already talked about the foundational level and the advanced level. Just as an example, I was putting that the foundational level is just strengthening the concepts like math, science, and then advanced level is maybe spelling bee, like preparing for Math Kangaroo, and like the science Olympiads that we are doing. Okay. So why do we want us to join this program as student, coach, or volunteer? As I mentioned, longitudinal learning is really important for us. That's foundational learning, and then continuous growth path once registered, and then they can jump into the advanced, and then we are going to have those paths clearly defined. Like I said, it may take time. It may be a little bit obscure in the beginning, but eventually we are hoping that it would get us there. Like I said, again, I'm stressing our focus is to make sure that they're intellectually growing, their language skills are getting better, and then their learning, social and emotional learning is becoming a part of their part of their growth. There is a link here I put in the slides. I'm not sure if you are going to send the slides out. I'm more than happy to share these, and you guys can go read up of some of the social emotional learning that's happening. It's really
Yes,
becoming important. Yeah.
We'll share it.
Yeah. Thanks, Vinay. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you may want to go like Google and read up on it. It's becoming a very critical component in all the learning management systems and everything there. Everybody is focusing on these core skills. Okay, so this is very, I don't know how big this is on your screen, but this is just the 4 foundational packages. Are actually 1 foundational and 1 advanced for 1 to 3 and 4 to 6 grade kids. It's going to be science, math, English, and Scratch programming is what we're thinking for 1 to 3 grade kids as foundational. And then for advanced classes, we're thinking elementary science Olympiad, Math Kangaroo, spelling bee. Some of these things are subject to change as we start formulating these offerings. We are working on it. But that's the idea, just to give you a sample, right? And you will have similar things for the 4 to 6 grade kids and 7 to 8 and 9 to 12 grade kids. I think for 9 to 12 grade kids, we are going to focus on SAT Math and SAT English for the foundational thing, because I think that's one thing that they really need to do well when they're in high school. And advanced is going to be, I think, 9 to 12. We have seen a lot of interest in the Olympiad prep. So I think we hit that right in our thinking that that's where kids want to spend their time learning. And we are going to thinking of Dr. Priya Raman and Sri Priya Raman and Dr. Priya Krishna are working together on how we do these AMC classes and the Science Olympiad class together. That's like two of the heavy hitters in math and science for high school kids. So I think that's going to be really helpful for kids who wants to, when they're doing their college applications, when they get out of high school. So we're really excited about that offering. And as I said, we want to make sure that they're just not going deep into those STEM. We also will have an option for them to like get better in writing like essays and then doing research papers and things like that. So that's the learning journey. In addition, Dr. Sri Priya Raman, who started the AP coaching, actually her daughter, I'm not sure if Trisha is around. So there, and then she has a group of people that helps her with these offerings. So that we will continue offering. So we have AP classes in biology, chemistry, computer science, physics, think of anything. I think they pretty much have an offering for all the AP courses your students can take. And then we're also offering AMC is going to be part of the learning journey package, as I mentioned earlier, but then we are also offering this AIME coaching for kids that are really, really advanced in math. So when can you start enrolling your students? If you're wondering, I think we open by middle of March. It may be late towards the end of the March. We have a few things that we need to sort out before we open the registrations. But as you know, we are a volunteer organization, and most of the coaches we recruit as volunteers. So we will start that recruitment. And if you have a high school student or a college student who are interested in volunteering for our cause, the thing is our mindsets have to match with who wants to volunteer for that organization, right? So you guys kind of understand our goals. And also we are trying to raise money for the kids in India to go to school and get education. So those are the main goals we need to understand. It's at a higher level point for us, it's about educating all the kids. It's about making sure everybody's getting an education. So I really want you to think like, don't worry about where this $150, $200 is going. We are trying to lift the boat. So I want coaches with a similar mindset when they join us, right? They're trying to help the community get better as a whole. And also, especially for the high school kids, they will gain a lot of leadership skills by teaching these classes. Like you have seen, some of these classes are really, really advanced classes. So it will actually enforce their learning. And also, they will learn like how to manage a class, how to deal with a large crowd of students. So yeah, if you're ready for the challenge, please apply. Please apply. Don't apply because of volunteer hours. We really want like really good coaches passionate about educating children. We'll start that recruitment soon. And then our plan right now is to run the classes from middle of June to end of July, so that can capture all the school break periods, hopefully. I think because in some regions school start in August, some regions schools end in mid-June. So we are hoping this will hit, but some of the offerings may be different time periods than this. But most of the classes, this is when they will happen. So if you're planning for summer, I want you to make a note of this. These classes will be mid-June to end of July. It will be 6 weeks classes because we have multiple subjects. Each subject can be either 1 or 2 days. So your child will have 4 classes throughout the weekdays. Weekends, because it's summer, we are going to leave them free. We're not going to have classes on the weekend. All these classes will be on weekdays. Either one in the morning, like we did last summer. There will be 2 choices, one in the morning or one in the evening. We don't want to give too many choices because it will be hard for us to monitor if we have like so many classes happening throughout the day. So we just want to consolidate everything into like 1 or 2 time periods. that way I can also plan well for the coaches and have multiple coaches available at the same time, so we don't have to reschedule classes and in case somebody gets sick. So I think that's everything I have. This I will let Atman explain now. But before I turn it over to Atman, I think we have Dr. Sripriya Raman. You have anything else to add for these slides?
Not really, Narayana. You've got it all covered. You listed out all of our AP offerings and AMC, AME offerings. I do have, I share the same sentiments. Like our team is a group of about 60 coaches. More than a dozen of them are adult or college student level coaches. So we are really thankful. We have increased our team size and offerings significantly since we started about 2 years ago, thanks to the interest in the membership. If you are not aware of what APs are or AMC or AME contests are, and if you have a high school student or a high achieving middle school student, I encourage the parents to look into it, because many times we get questions like at the last minute, because not all families are familiar with what these are and how they can help their child to use our program to get better at what they want to get better at. And our AP classes, I would add, like, some students take it when they are taking the same AP course for school. But there are also some students who take it regardless of whether they take it in school or not, because one, it helps with other science competitions like Science Olympiad or subject specific Olympiads, and two, it helps them get into competitive school teams like Science Bowl. And third thing is, you can also get college credit. So even if your high school is not offering any of these AP subjects, many students do opt to self-study, and our courses can help you supplement your study, and then they take the AP exams, and they still get college credit in many colleges for the courses that they take during high school. So there are multiple advantages to go take our AP classes. And then Savitri, one of my volunteers of our team, is mainly steering the AMC AME workshops in the last year. So Savitri, would you like to add something about AMC and AME if you're still on?
I just had 1 or 2 slides. Can I share?
Yeah, you can.
Let me just.
Can you give it to?
Yeah, let me just make some representation. One second. Savitri, can you try now?
One can see.
While Savitri is pulling her slide, we also have one of our high school volunteer, Ram Sivaraman, who has coached multiple classes for us, like physics 1, physics C. He, in fact, with his friend on the team, did a FMA workshop for physics students just not too long ago, and he has coached for AME as well. So he is also on our team on the call. So after Savitri is done, maybe Ram can share his experience as well.
So are you able to see my slide, or
Yes.
am I?
You can. Thanks, Savitri. You can see.
Yeah, the AMC slide you're able to see, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thanks. Actually, I just wanted to add to what Dr. Sripriya already mentioned. This is mainly for the AMC AME contest prep. So we have fairly we have done this for a few years now, and a fairly good set of classes offered for both AMC and AME preps. AMC is basically, both of these are basically contests happening once in a year by MAA, Mathematical Association of America. It's generally a fairly serious competition. AMC is basically at different levels for middle school and before 8th grade and below. It's AMC 8, and then there's the AMC 10, which can be taken by high schoolers till 10th grade. Of course, younger students can also take, but till 10th grade, AMC 10 can be taken. And then there is AMC 12, which goes till 12th grade. 12th grade students are. And this AMC competition is typically a 25-question multiple choice exam, which covers different topics: algebra, geometry, number theory, and combinatorics. These are the core subjects which from which we kind of derive problems and offer classes or lessons and classes. These classes run typically during summer in a shorter time, within 8 weeks, and during fall it's typically 10 to 16 weeks, fall to early spring. That's our AMC offering, and AME is a next level of higher level to AMC competition. What that means is those who compete in AMC 10 and AMC 12, they have to have a certain threshold of score, and that allows them to clear to reach, or they are invited into mathematical examination by MAA. It's called AME, and this is typically a 15-question short answer competition, and people who do well in these this AME will qualify for the mathematical Olympiad, USA Math Olympiad, or Junior Math Olympiad, depending on whether you're from 10th grade or below or 12th grade and below. So we offer courses for both of these during summer and early fall and early spring. This is part of AMC AME package, and then I think Priya also mentioned about AP courses, but I just wanted to highlight on the physics and its associated contest, which is called F is equal to MA contest prep. So AP physics is AP physics again. We have several parts of this AP physics. It's one is an algebra-based course, and the second one is a calculus-based course. And this also, there's a lot of interest, and we have been doing this for some time. And this is again typically a 16 to 20 lesson classes offered during summer through fall, early spring. So I just wanted to add this. Thanks, Shripriya. Yeah.
Sure, thank you, Savitri. One thing I would add is all of our AME and AMC, the competitive math classes, every time we offer, because these are multi-year prep for our students, so we expect the same students to hang on with us for 2 years or more, depending on when they start with us. So these are all new problems and new concepts like we cover every time we try to cover. So even if students have taken this in the past, we strongly encourage them to continue to take it because we prepare new material, and we are fortunate to have at least 2 young adults who have been to Math Olympiad be on our team to help guide our high school coaches with these preparation. And for the sake of time, I'm not going to go into all of the AP offerings. We have about 7 or 8 different AP subject offerings for all STEM related AP courses. So you can just look up online for those. Ram, do you want to add, or Narayana, do you want Ram to add something from a coach and student perspective, or do you want to save it for later?
So Sripriya, I think we'll have Ram, Dave, and they share their experience and then take questions from parents and students at the after like a couple of presenters.
Sure. Ram is just a brief intro. Ram is one of our team members. He has a great passion for math, science, and violin, and in all of those, he does extremely well. He has participated in multiple contests and has won awards as well. And Dave Shah, many of you may know already, is our spelling bee champion. So, you know, we're happy to have both of them here. And is Shreya here, Vinay? She was going to join too, right?
Let me join. Let me just check. But by the time I think so, we have a small presentation from Jax about the parent portal, and then we can have the other ones take over.
Okay.
Jax, can I make you presenter now? Sorry, Narayana, you were saying something?
Yeah, when I was saying a lot of questions about Science Olympiad, so I'm wondering Dr. Priya Krishnan is here. Maybe she can.
Yeah, that is
Couple of
true.
minutes.
Why don't we do the Q&A quickly, and then I can move to the presentation.
Yes. So I do see in the question panel several questions about Science Olympiad. So Dr. Krishnan, if you can help answer some of them. Also, for those who probably are new to the this webinar format, if you can, if you want to ask a question, just type in the question panel, and we'll be able to see them and answer. Just one thing, as Narayana had mentioned, I added a poll to see like if you are a new parent, or have you known, how many of you know about North South already who have joined, or if they're a new parent. If you can just take a couple of seconds just to answer this, and then Dr. Krishnan will share about the Science Olympiad program. 54%, maybe a couple of more seconds.
So Priya, there were a lot of questions about how will Science Olympiads help? Do you organize clubs in? Do you form teams? How do you prepare us for Science Olympiads? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, let me wait till the poll is over,
Yep.
and then you know, I can get started.
And let me just make you presenter in if that way you can share. Okay, that's done. And okay, I think I'll settle for 75%. Okay, so we have 42% new parents. And so, which makes sense, I guess. Those who have been here probably know most of our offerings, though some of them are new, like the AP classes are like the last 1-2 years. Sripriya Raman's team has built them. And so some of them are 39% are new, 42% are new parents. Thank you for taking the poll. Over to you, Dr. Krishnan.
Hello, everybody. I don't have slides, but I basically want this to be a just kind of an informational session. You know, I was, you know, I've had something similar to Science Olympiad in my school in India when I went to school. And so when my son went into middle school, that was when I was first exposed to Science Olympiad here in this country. It is amazing because Science Olympiad is not just about forming a team and winning Science Olympiad. It actually makes you understand and learn science. Learning has changed. In the past, it used to be didactic learning, and tests used to be just like that. They used to be all based on memorization and, you know, just rote learning. You know, things have changed, and Science Olympiad is a classic example because Science Olympiad is based on application. So most of the events, like you have multiple events, And most of the events, you're allowed to have a binder. You're allowed to have what is called a note sheet or a cheat sheet. You're allowed to have a kind of a guide with you. And the idea is that it's not just learning, it is learning how to apply science to practical day-to-day things. That is what Science Olympiad is all about. Now, granted, a lot of times, Science Olympiad is through school. So North-South, we are still trying to figure out if we can have our own like invitationals, but forming a team and so on and so forth, that would be more, school-based. What we can do is help you with your tryouts, help you for your regionals, help you for your state, help you for your nationals, and then, just identify some events. A lot of times, children don't have a good mentor for a lot of these events. And so there are some schools that are extremely strong in Science Olympiad, and there are some schools that are not. And what happens is that the children whose schools there has been a history of Science Olympiad, they always get a leg up or an added advantage. So our goal would be to kind of give all the students all the knowledge that there is, not just about Science Olympiad, but because why Science Olympiad is important and how it's fun. Another thing that we are planning to do is, Biology Olympiad and Physics Olympiad prep. Now, this will be done in conjunction with Dr. Sripriya Raman, and we are trying to figure out how we are going to package it for the summer. That would be in addition to so that would be a AP, and some children take it, at the same time as they take their APs. But some children take it, earlier just for practice, and then, when they take it when they're taking the APs, those Olympiads are, extremely kind of prestigious for their college applications and such. A lot of times, there's hardly any preparation work that goes into like the USA Biology Olympiad or the Physics Olympiad, because most of the children during that time are busy studying for the APs. So the idea is that we'll offer this in the summer as well, so that it kind of helps give the kids an added advantage. So those are the two kind of broad strokes of Olympiads that we are trying to encompass. Individually, we started out, just by offering, just a workshop style 3 sessions just to see what the interest was. And gosh, we had to turn people away. So that told us that we really, really want to have this for the summer. So we are going to come up with Science Olympiad offerings for the summer in most of the Science Olympiad events. Any questions?
Yeah, please put in the chat if you have any questions, any further questions. Thanks, Dr. Krishnan. I think that probably clarified a lot of questions that people have. And we will keep doing like informational sessions, especially Science Olympiads. It's a big thing for us moving forward because of the interest we have seen. As Dr. Krishnan was saying, it is really amazing. I mean, we didn't even think like there are so many people looking for help. But yeah, we will keep disseminating information on that to the parents. So please keep an eye on your emails, probably coming from learningjourney@northsouth.org. So please make sure that you guys are not putting us in spam or anything. There will be more communication coming on that soon. Yeah. So over to you, Vinay. I do want Chakri and Atman to at some point, because the remote learning that we're focusing on, but they can go after Jagdish.
Yes. Actually, probably I'll just briefly mention to you about, like I was showing you the email that we had sent out regarding the Science Olympiad classes, and all the spots got filled in like 3-4 days. So that's why I think if you see emails, and please pay attention to the last date for registrations, and make sure you register so that you won't be left out. So I think these are like the AP offerings and all the coaching offerings that you can find out under the coaching page. And briefly before handing over to Jax, we want to mention that this week, I think by Wednesday, we will be closing the registrations for prep clubs. And the prep clubs are 8-week sessions, 1 hour each week. to help learn the topics in the interested subjects with the goal that they will try to cover the topics that are needed for the different grade levels in our regionals. And so that is available. So please go to your North South parent portal and look at the offerings available to you and register as soon as possible. And you can see on the landing page the lesson plan for each of the subjects. So if you're interested, you can go ahead and register now. And the registration, like Narayana mentioned, will be closing in 2-3 days. We also have workshops that you can also register for. These are one session of 2-3 hours to go over the topics that are needed for preparing. And over to you, Jax, so that you can mention about the new portal, and then we can have Atman and Chakri present on the new spelling and speech pundit apps. So Jax, if you can briefly cover our new portal.
All right. Can you make me the presenter?
Yes, you are presenter now.
Okay. Okay, hold on. I want to make sure I'm sharing the right screen.
We see the parent login.
See it? Okay. Or you see the parent login now?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, excellent. All right. So for those of you who may not have been familiar, we actually have a new parent login, which is www.northsouth.org/parent, and it'll take you to this login page. I'm actually going to do a demo using the QA login site. So most of all the parents will not have access to the QA site when I have an account set up.
Thanks, Jax. These actually for new parents, because 49% are new parents, this will probably help them navigate and access and register for contest prep clubs easily. So thanks, Jax.
Yeah, very good. All right. So as you log in, you would actually go to your main dashboard, which lists all the events that you might have registered for your kids. But right now we are showing the dashboard for regional contests and coaching. We'll be expanding this to learning journey and for finals and all the other events in the near future. But right now the main dashboard only displays data for the regional contests and coaching. At the top section here shows anything that you have registered for already. And as you scroll down, you'll have a second section here which shows, okay, any additional events that are available for your children to register, but maybe you have not yet registered. Okay. And in addition to this, if you would like to see more details, you can actually go in to the view status screen, or you can, if you look in the regional contest dashboard, it gives you a little bit more details about the contest timings. And if you look at the status for the current year, it actually, for each of the contests that you have registered for, it will show you, it'll give you links for downloading the sample words or sample test papers, downloading a structured learning practice guide. And on the other hand, if you, in my case, for example, I registered for this event at this Mahwah Rockland chapter for intermediate vocabulary B, and changed my mind saying my child does not want to participate in intermediate vocabulary anymore. So you can go into the screen and change to another event that you have not registered. If you're not changing the center or location, leave it blank and you can click submit, and if the seats are available, it will automatically change to that particular contest. On the other hand, if you want to go to a different venue because the date does not suit you on April 28th, if intermediate vocabulary science is offered at a different center, you could change it, or you can even go back to leave the original contest as is, but just change the center. Okay. And depending on what date they're offering, you will automatically change to that. Okay. And once the contests are completed, the contest results page shows the results of the various prior events that have been taken place. Okay. All right, going to the coaching screens, similar concept. You'll have the main dashboard listing upcoming events. You'll have this status page showing how to if the coaching event hasn't started yet, you can change the session. If the coaching event starts, you'll have links for joining the coaching session using Zoom or using Google Classroom, whichever was set up for that particular class. Okay. And this is very similar to how the system was before, except the UI is now scalable and responsive in mobile devices as well. So you can actually access all these pages without having to zoom in or zoom out within mobile devices. Okay. And as I mentioned earlier, we are slowly transitioning all the other pages into the new responsive pages. So the next step we are working on is the learning journey. Until these pages are brought in, they will be available under the Others tab, and you can access them as you did before. Okay. And the support page gives you a listing of any credits that you might have had in the past. Either you might have registered and then decided that you wanted to cancel, and then NorthSouth might have offered you a credit for that. And those will be available for you to view under this. And we will be adding more features in here as it relates to, for example, any payment receipts that are available, they will be visible here in the near future. Any donation receipts that you might have that you're eligible to receive will be available in this section as well. Right now, all those sections are available under the profile page or giving page, but slowly all these sections will be brought into the responsive section of the new portal. Now, one of the key features that has changed in the new portal is your profile page. In the past, we had multiple pages, so now you can actually view all the details about yourself, your spouse, and your children in one screen. And as many of you might have already realized, for all children who are not college going, we require that you update an email address for every child. And this email address needs to be unique to the child and different from any of the parents' email addresses. And you can also list and add any accomplishments that you want to, for NorthSouth Foundation to be aware of outside of NorthSouth Foundation, for example, Olympiads, you may want to add an entry. And this helps us in identifying and recognizing your child for any of the accomplishments that they might have had outside of NorthSouth Foundation. And we are looking to showcase these in our social media, in our B-book pages, etc. And it'll be very helpful if you can highlight any of the recent awards that have been received in any external activities. Okay, I think I might have covered. Oh, the other areas in this profile screen, you actually have the ability to change your email addresses very quickly or change your password. And this is available for both the parent accounts as well as the child accounts as well. Okay. All right. I think that covers at a high level. Vinay,
Thank you.
Anything I might have missed, let me know.
So I think I think with the Prep Club last date coming very soon, if you can just briefly show that part again, that way they know where to go. So once they log into the portal, and then you click on Prep Club and register for Prep.
So you get on the portal, you click on the Others tab, and there's a Prep Club tab right here. And if you're registering for Prep Clubs, you can click right from here, and you can go in through the registration process. And on the other hand, if you already registered, you can see the status of the Prep Club on the screen, and you'll be able to access any Prep Club Zoom sessions or Google Classroom sessions right from here.
Cool. Thank you, Jags. So we'd like to invite Atman Palkrishnan to share about the spelling app that we've developed. So the coaching team has worked on this app, I think, for the last 1 to 2 years. So Atman, let me try to share, make Atman the presenter.
Yeah, well, when is doing that, I think the reason we are doing these offerings, and then you will also hear from Chakri on Speech Pandit. We are starting to realize we have to supplement the live coaching, the live classes we are doing with asynchronous learning for the kids so they can spend more time at home studying on their own. So we are going to integrate more offerings like this into our classes. We already do Kahoots, Bluecats. So we're trying to get as many different ways of mediums possible for the children to keep learning. So these two offerings that Chakri and Atman are going to talk about is part of that initiative. Go ahead.
Okay, so this is the spelling app. As Narayana Uncle said, it's a supplement to the spelling coaching. And it's just another tool to help students learn spelling and master words and master language. So right now, to get to the website, you can type in spelling.northsouth.org, and we have a few free sample quizzes up. For now, the words on the app will be from the regional lists, and to access them, you can access them through the coaching classes. In which case you can log in using the user guide. You can log in, you can create an account, or you can log in using North-South if you are part of the coaching classes. So if you log in through North-South, you type in your email, you will get a verification code, and you'll be able to log in and access the quizzes. Once you're into the quizzes, we have designed this to help students learn, not just for memorizing the words, but to understand them through etymologies, definitions, be able to apply them in sentences, and so on. To help succeed in competition, to help succeed in general, and being able to use the vocabulary that is being taught. So this is sort of a simulation of the spelling bee experience. You have the pronunciation. You can use the play button. I don't know if you can hear that, but the word here is vital. You can press on these audio buttons to hear the part of speech, etymology, definition, and sentence. You can also see them on the bottom of the screen there. So the word is vital, so I'm going to spell it, and it gives me a score right here. So we have divided these quizzes. We had divided the large list of 1,000 words into small quizzes of 30 words, and that's so that the student keeps up the stamina of learning many words at a time, but also gives a little break in between each section to divide up the learning well. So if you go through all 30 words, you'll get a score out of 30, right and wrong. You will also be able to review the words. You can either review all of them again, or you can review just the answers you got wrong, just the words you got wrong. So you can kind of customize your learning that way. And the goal here is not for students to rattle off words. The goal is to use these tools of part of speech, definition, etymology, and sentences to be able to eventually use these words and understand them both for competition and outside of competition. And as we go on, we will keep updating the pronunciations. We will add more words later. For now, we just have the regional lists for JSB and SSB categories, but we will keep adding words later. We will update pronunciations if they need updating, and we will, if any improvements, if you can suggest any improvements, there are ways to do that as well. If I go to the home screen there, to log in, you can use the existing North-South, which you will get through coaching. You can press this button down here, or you can buy the word packs by signing up. Yeah, so this is just a way to supplement the coaching, to and to improve vocabulary and spelling skills. Are there any questions from anyone?
How does one get access to the spelling app?
So you can type in spelling.northsouth.org into the search bar. To see how it works, you can click the user guide here. If you scroll down a little bit, you can see all the instructions for logging in and creating an account. And as you scroll down, you'll find out how to take quizzes, how to buy more word packs, and generally just use the app. And as you can see in this section, you have an archive of all the words you have attempted. You can see how many you've gotten right, how many you've gotten wrong, how many have been attempted. You can select to practice only the words that were incorrect, which means you can customize your learning however you want.
Yeah, I think the key thing to remember is go through your that north-south, continue with north-south icon, and once you enter your email ID, it will ask you for a OTP. So to make sure that it is actually you that is requesting it, and if you go through that path, the quizzes will get unlocked for you for free if you register for contests and coaching. If you go
so
through the other path, yeah, go ahead, Atman.
If you have registered for coaching, you don't need to go to the sign up here button. You want to press this button at the bottom saying continue with North South Foundation, and you can type in your email and you get a password.
Yeah, and that's the way you will get free access to JSB and SSB both. Actually, we are giving, if you register for one contest, we are giving access for both the word lists. If you go through the username password route, then you have to buy the packs. Each one will cost $14.99. So by signing up for the contests and our coaching, that's already like a $30 value you're getting. So yeah, and if you have any problems, please email learningjourney@northsouth.org. If you already paid for the contest and coaching, then and if for some reason you signed up the wrong way and if the application is not letting you get free access, please let us know and we will take care of that.
Thank you, Narayana. Thank you, Atman. And I think they're asking for the app name again. I think we just said spelling.northsouth.org, right? So that's how they can access.
Yes, for now it's spelling.northsouth.org. The app will come soon, right?
Yep. Yeah, right now it's only desktop is what we recommend. The mobile version, the browser support on the mobile devices, we're working on it. That should be ready pretty soon. We actually had, we did have the app last year. It was only on the App Store and Play Store. So we do have the app built already, but this is a little bit more fancier. So we're trying to upgrade those applications. So those will also be available. So you can access it anywhere, anytime you want, from anywhere, any kind of device. It will work with everything. Just give us a little more time, probably in 2 to 3 weeks. You will be able to do it on your iPhones, Google devices, iPads, tablets, everything. And it's one login.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Narayana. Thank you, Atman. Chakri, we invite you to share about the Speech Mandate app. Let me make you presenter.
Sure. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I got 2 screens. I'm not sure which one's showing up. Do you see the slides? What do you see?
We see the desktop.
Okay. So let me make sure. Bring it over here.
Yeah. Now
okay. Now you see it. Okay. I got like a few slides. I really want to emphasize why I'm strongly believing that we should have public speaking as one of the most popular contests. And I have 2 kids. One's now almost going to college and she wants to do public policy and political science and be in DC area. And I can tell from her whole journey of being at North South Foundation to being a coach and also seeing my almost high schooler go through. So I have a share of my own journey of trying to see my kids do more and more in public speaking, but I want to point this particular individual. It was one of the most popular public speaking. If you go to Google and YouTube, you'll find this course called How to Speak by Dr. Patrick Winston. He used to teach, he passed away in 2019, but for almost 40 years, he used to teach this class. And he's not a communication specialist, essentially only one class a year as an independent course. And he said, or his whole key message is that success in life is really determined by how well you speak, how well you write, and the quality of your ideas in that order. So it's not important maybe to have the best idea, but if you can articulate it, put it in nice words and emails, draft them, redraft them, edit them, and then obviously when you get a chance to present, then you can do wonders. Second, obviously, Warren Buffett keeps saying that you can almost increase your income wherever you are, whatever level you are at. If you can communicate well, you'll almost get 50% more income. And there are challenges, and the challenge is there's a fear of public speaking. I know my kids luckily didn't have an inhibition of sharing and being expressive, but I know a lot of my friends and their kids who just didn't want to come out and share. They're extremely confident kids, extremely good, and that's true for all of us. I think our whole community is very strong in terms of being academically good, but being able to handle as you get to college is where I think you can really take a big advantage. And that's my ask to all parents here, is to consider nudging your kids to try out during learning journey or prep clubs or even contests. And fear can be overcome. And I am a Toastmaster for 20 years. I can tell very much that if you practice and practice and practice, and you know how to deliver it, you can do wonders. I'm still learning, but why should you as a parent do it? Why should I as a parent do it? All our parents, and you as a parent, myself as a parent, we would like to share our knowledge through what we're seeing in life. And obviously things are changing so fast that the way they absorb new information, like Ms. Krishnan, you were saying, the idea of taking tests has changed, COVID has changed a lot of things, but fundamentally still everybody has to communicate. So I still feel like we should nudge. What is Speech Pundit? Essentially, it started off from my daughter, who in high schooler, getting ready to be part of the fun high school life. Suddenly COVID hits and she's sitting at home bored. So she wanted to teach classes, and she was part of NSF. So she was like, okay, I'll teach some classes. And she said, no, I want to create something my own. And I don't want to teach math or science, but I want to teach fun. And when she tried doing that for 8 weeks, towards the end, just before school started for a 10th grade, she realized and told me that two things. One, teaching is not easy, and teaching kids is extremely difficult. And she said, I'm not going to teach anymore. And Thanksgiving came up, and she said, Nana, I want to teach something, but I want to be very focused on one thing. So at that time, she was in speech and debate. So she translated that into doing something only for public speaking. So I spent time around her, and I felt like maybe I can help her in her coaching workflow and how she was doing it even at North South. So that's how it all started. And the platform I'll quickly go through is to give you some idea of what it does, right? But fundamentally, it's all about, like Narayana said, it is a combination of having classes, but also doing a lot practice asynchronously yourself. And many things can be done. There's a bunch of framework of how you can go and apply left to right. You can start off with the foundations. You can become a great listener. You can start to write well. You can research well. You can organize your content. Suddenly memorizing an 8-minute speech is something that you would need to do if you're actually getting to a high school and competitive programs. And doing it in front of hundreds of people needs practice. You need to fail at least once, and that's the only way you will get there. And definitely doing specialized speech and debate programs. North-South, we offer only one competition, which is public speaking PS1 and PS3. And it is an impromptu competition, right? So basically you will get an impromptu question and you answer it. So I'll switch over to just from here. Actually, I want to make one point. I think, this is what you're going to see really in a moment. But I want to point out that there's a little connection here. Here's my dad. Obviously, he looks very happy and nice. I went on a 50-day trip with him to New Zealand and spent a lot of quality time. But he grew up as a rural, not as much advantaged in terms of access to education, but he went on to become a civil engineer and architect. One of the asks he had was he wants to see all kids have access to the same kinds of education. And one of the things I did as part of the platform is these 4 kids here are all from pretty much that same background, rural parents. All the parents are not educated, just they broke the glass and they came in, and everybody that built the platform, the For Speech Pundit, is in that mold. Okay, enough of that. Again, this is Dr. Patrick Winston. You can go and check it out on the MIT Open courseware. But here's how it looks, right? So if you were to do only public speaking PS1 or PS3, and all the kids who would get access eventually to this through the program, would be challenged and will be asked to practice. So in this case, a question randomly will come up. And yes, it's a 60-second window. And I'm now going to challenge myself to answer this question. Like so many things, it's not what's outside, but what's inside that count. Agree, disagree, point of view. I got to make notes. In North-South competition, though, it's for 30 minutes, and obviously you have a 3-minute speech to give. So you need to structure your content, think about how you want to give your presentation, and finally present it where you start off with the right attention, and then also make everybody feel as audience, okay, what did Chakri say? Okay, and that memorable aspect has to be in place. So presenting all of that in a nice, organized fashion is what's needed. And in this case, if I say, just for the sake of it, I'm going to say I'm ready, the camera is going to come on and show me, and I'll start recording. I think it's maybe an issue with not being, okay, it is coming. So I can start recording and then everything will be good. What will happen next is things like you want to practice and you want to do it over and over again. How do you do more of that? And I would give assignments. And the idea of giving assignments would be in different forms. I could be giving an assignment like this and ask the kids to describe the scene and use their own words. This is just totally a GIF, and you can just articulate whatever you want. But when you present yourself with this like a TV reporter, a weather reporter, you're starting to have the conversation with your kids where like they might enjoy public speaking. Right, so that's the goal. Also have ideas of writing, and the ideas of writing will mean you need to put your speech into structure. So we have a Google Doc kind of format, which is I can start writing my own content. I keep editing things that I don't feel like I'm ready, or I can maybe make my final thing as ideal as I want, and I feel like, okay, I think I'm ready, and I'm gonna start practicing this. I'm good with this, I'm gonna record. Same thing will happen. You will get an interface that will help you to memorize, not think about memorization first, but maybe at some point in the line, you can focus on the opening, the close, and whatnot. So that is what the app is. The whole idea is to make all of us practice, all of our kids practice and feel very comfortable to share. And then the last part is, there's many different ways you can give assignments. My focus is just to have the app ready for North-South to use for the prep clubs as well as for the learning journey, and focus on the impromptu first. And then as we think about adding more, we can integrate them into the platform. That's about it. I'm open to take questions, but this is the current state. In terms of integrating and having it being used in the classes, we're still working the final details. So meet Dr. Balu next week, and we'll iron out, and then we should be good. Back to
Thank
you.
you. Sorry, good. Thank you, Chakri. So,
Sure.
we have some of our champion kids. I mean, some like you saw earlier, some of the alumni who are now giving back by helping coach, like Ram and then Atman, and also by preparing these apps, like his daughter. And also we have so our recent scripts champion Dave Shah with us, who I would like to invite him to share his experience with North South and how it helped in his journey.
Hi, yeah, thank you for inviting me. I would say that North South really helped me inspired me to pursue spelling. Without North South, I wouldn't have known about the various ways to prepare for the spelling bee. I remember when I was in second grade, the finals were held in Houston, and I attended the seminar with Vanya Shivashankar. She's the 2015 national champion. And Vanya and her dad shared important tips that I used in the beginning of my journey. And from there, I would say I accelerated. And one thing that I recognized in a lot of these North-South competitions is it's not just about the result, it's also about the journey, like the Learning Journey Awards. So it inspired me not to give up. And 1 year before my national spelling bee, I did the intermediate vocabulary bee. And I would say that gave me an important boost to my preparation. So I think doing the competitions is a good extra boost and extra preparation for any national competition, whether it be for an Olympiad or for the AMC or for the National Spelling Bee.
Thanks, Dave. Before we actually take any questions or from parents or students, so we have, like Dr. Bala mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, we have been having champions from our North-South family in all of these subjects. But also, like Dave just mentioned, it's not just about like winning something. It is actually the process of learning that is the most valuable, and making the connections, like when they appear in regionals and nationals, and how they push each other and to learn and excel, right? So I would also like to invite Ram, so who has, I guess, started as a participant, but now also as a coach and helping with our AP and FE Code MA physics offerings. So Ram, if you would like to share about your experience.
Yeah, thank you. I think I know prior to coming into NSF as a coach, my mindset and take on how to approach Olympiads has as well as or both competitive and academic work has kind of changed drastically. I think one of the things that I enjoyed really the most was both taking the time to fully understand what I fully understand what I'm trying to present, and then and enjoy seeing others kind of take that take whatever I have shared and then kind of process that information in different ways. I think that's kind of the that's kind of been the most I guess motivating part about NSF. On top of both, it's both kind of like a win-win situation. It's both beneficial to the student. I really enjoy teaching students, but it's also helped me grow as a person, kind of help deliver content more clearly, as well as understand what I'm teaching better.
Great. Thank you, Ram. And I think that is one of the strengths of North South as a family, where the kids who have started like in their elementary grades and participate and having fun while participating and seeing each other like at regionals and nationals. And then after like either while they're in their high school and even after graduating while they're in college, the sense of giving back to the society and then their dedication actually is the strength of North South. And we'd also like Atman to share his North South experience as well. He also is helping with the spelling and vocabulary programs and with the app, and he has also participated in Scripps finals several years. Atman, if you'd like to share some.
Yeah, so I started out as a North-South contestant in 4th grade, and I sort of evolved from there. So I went to the semifinals in 2019. I qualified for nationals in 2020. Unfortunately, it got canceled, but I kind of channeled that energy into coaching. I have been coaching since 2020. I think I've done 5 or 6 classes now, and I've learned a lot about leadership, about even about just spelling through coaching and being a contestant. I've also done some of the AP classes. I did an AP Computer Science prep course, and I'm excited to see the holds. So, yeah.
Great, thank you, Atman. I think you saw in the slides, I think Trisha was also on one of the slides. She couldn't join because she had some research work today. So all of them actually, from the common experience that we have seen, is that they see that participating through North-South has built their strengths in whatever subject they chose, and that's that has helped not only in their academics but also grow as a person as well. So I have before we open up for parents and students to ask questions about questions to our champion kids, one more poll to see how many of you already have signed up for like the regionals and how many are planning to sign up soon. Sai, I think the regionals for this first set of contests that is coming up in March, it's a 2 week, 2 weeks prior to the contest they close, so that deadline also should be coming close, right? But also I think we encourage people who are interested in participating to sign up early, like Narayana had mentioned. You would get access to the spelling app to prepare if you sign up for spelling and so on, like and any other material that you would like to download or prepare. So it helps if you would like to if you are interested in participating, to sign up early. So I see, okay, a lot of you have already registered, 42%. Just a few more seconds and actually 44% of the people who voted have already registered, 60%. Okay, I think we can close it for now. There is also, we see that of the people who responded, several of you have already registered for regionals. They've been open for a few weeks, and like I said, they close. If you look at your contest calendar, they close 2 weeks prior to the contest date. So we encourage you to register as early as possible. There's one last poll that.
One point I do want to add to what you just said, Vinay. So the contest registration actually closes 3 weeks prior without any late fee, and with late fee it actually closes 2 weeks prior.
Oh, yes, thank you. So it's actually 3 weeks prior to that you would like to register, so that you don't have to pay the late fee. Thank you, Sai, for adding that. And I think just one question, my kid needs to take any learning courses from you to participate in the regionals? No, not really. You can refer to the syllabus and the resources section under the each subject, and they can prepare by themselves. But if you like to use any of the preparation club that we offer, like the volunteer coaches that we have, they have prepared some weekly material that you can attend 1 hour week classes. So those are the prep clubs that I mentioned. And like we mentioned earlier, the deadline for registering those is this, I think 21st. So it's like 3-4 more days. And some of them might reach capacity. So please try to register early if you're interested. Thank you. And so you've heard from all of our coordinators about all of our offerings, and from Dr. Balu about like what our mission is and what, sorry, I think I was sharing screen. Okay. So if you have any questions, you can continue to type in the chat, and then we can try to answer them. Or you can reach out to support@northsouth.org in general for any help or question. And if you have any question about contests, you can email contests@northsouth.org. So, but our parent portal has all the information that you need. And thanks to our IT team, Jax had mentioned that we have a new version of the parent portal that's now accessible on the mobile. It's mobile friendly as well. So hope all your kids will get a chance to participate in the upcoming regionals, and also participate in our learning journey program. And so after this contest season, we do have some more learning journey offerings for summer that you'll probably see in emails from Narayana, our coaching coordinator. So please be on the lookout for them as well. So one last question that I have as a poll is, since some of our prep club offerings already have had almost reached capacity, so I wanted to see how many of you already are registered to participate in that, or how many of you are planning to register. And Sai, if you can help look at the questions, if any are missed while we are taking this poll.
Yes, there are a couple of questions that actually, and it's all about Prep Science Olympiad. I can probably quickly go through a couple of them that are still open right now. So one is how much prep is needed for the contest? Is the prep club participation good enough, or since only 1 month is left? Yes, you can actually still prepare for the contest, and you do have the time for it. Again, the criteria is you need to look for the closest chapter that you have, so therefore you can actually look for that particular dates for the contest, and based on that you can register. So there could be a flexibility beyond even for 1 month too. So you need to look for the chapter near your place. I'm in middle school. Oh, so he has left already. That's fine. For prep club, can you register in any region, or it's only for the region close by? Vinay?
So when you log in this Northsouth portal, you will see the offerings that are in your region. And in fact, actually, we try to make the ones that are available across regions by making the same offerings available at the same time to as much as possible, given the resources that we have. So yeah, if you log in and you see some offering available, you can sign up and you'll be placed in that class.
Okay.
Just sharing
Yeah, the question I think is, I'm also looking for coaching for pre-calculus.
Sripriya, if you can.
Yeah, we do have AP pre-calc coaching that we offer in summer and also in the fall and spring. So we will most likely offer it again this summer. So just be on the lookout.
And Sai, where will the finals be held? I think you mentioned Minneapolis, right?
Yep.
This is in August.
Yep.
After the okay.
What is the total duration for prep club for public speaking?
It's 8 weeks. All of the prep club offerings are 1 hour per week for 8 weeks, starting next weekend. So one of the offerings is on Saturday, one of the offerings is on Sunday.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm just kind of going through other questions. I have registered for computer science B. The courses include learning from books and taking AP course in Khan Academy. There are only few questions as sample question. I'd like to know if there are any previous year's question papers for reference. Unfortunately, there is none at this point in time. I think the preparation materials that is mentioned out there are the only ones right now at this point in time.
Can you please unmute me for a question? I know the method to answer oral question. I would like to know the method to answer oral questions in Geography B. Narayana, would you like to?
Sorry, Vinay, what was the question about Geography B?
I would like to know the method to answer oral questions in Geography B. I guess we have oral rounds, right? We have like 5 questions or 6 questions in oral round, and each contestant gets.
Yeah, I think now we are doing 3 questions in the oral round.
I see 3 questions in oral round. Yeah. So each contestant gets a question, and then they will answer, and then there's no elimination. All of them answer 3.
Yeah, it's like the spelling bee. They have a written part for phase 1. After that, they will have the oral rounds for phase 2, and then the total score is taken into consideration for advancing.
Okay, cool. Dr. Krishnan has logged back in, so I think that question about Science Olympiad was probably Sai, was it already answered?
Yes, I believe so. Science Olympiad.
Cool. Can kid in grade 9 attend this course? So I think most of our prep clubs are until 8th grade, right? So does the PS3 is for actually 9 to 12 grade. So
9 to 12,
Chakri,
that is correct.
So Chakri, so I know PS1 is middle school, but PS3 is 9 to 12. So that offering that we have for prep club for public speaking is available for 9th graders. And CS also is available for 9 to 12 grade. So Sunit, I think that those are the ones that we offer. And all the AP courses, so Narayan and Sripriya, they are mostly for high schoolers, right? So
correct, 9 to 12, and then maybe rising 9th graders will make an exception in summer because it's so close.
okay, so I think a lot of offerings we do have for 9th grader. Finals will work.
Okay. Right. So there's a question, Narayana. So anyway, it will be back on the previous way of coaching offered with various dates and timing options rather than the current prep plug with only 1 to 2 options, as it makes hard for coaching for all the subjects being offered. Kindly address this.
Yeah, so
Yes.
the way we have done it is actually in each region we have set up 2 to 3 different prep clubs. So Ashton is offering different times, Dallas is offering different times. So they can pick from 2 clubs. I think what maybe parents are getting confused is when they log in from an Austin chapter parent, they're probably thinking I should not pick Dallas or Houston, but you should be able to pick anything. It's like contests are uniform, material is uniform. You're not going to get any different instructional material depending on the chapter. I think the choice is not as much as it was like before, but that is actually spreading us thin, and some classes we are running up with 1, 2 kids. So this way we felt like we can pull better and then actually monitor also the classes a little better. That's the reason we have done it. But yeah, definitely next year we are going to make some
We
changes
can-
to the model and make all the prep clubs accessible to nationwide students. So that way we'll have a lot more selections. When I go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, that's what I think. I understand. Like, I think with this offering right now, the max any student can, like, of all the like 8 or 9, 10 they see on the screen. So because of the time slots, they probably can select max of 2. So if somebody wants to take 3 or 4, that is the limitation. But most of them probably take 1 or 2. But like if a student is interested in taking more than 2, I think that we are going to discuss and work on it. And then next year, probably you'll have that option available.
So the same parent actually has got a question. Okay, I think it's not letting us take courses from other states, regions. I think we answered that, right?
Yeah, I think we got it. Said thank you. So, I think Priya Krishna already answered the question about Science Olympiad as a question. So, okay. So if there is no further questions, I think we can. So it's.
Right. So if there are any additional questions, how can they reach Vinay? If you can let them know.
I think the best way is to email support@northsouth.org, and it will get forward. A ticket will be created and it will get forwarded to the appropriate team. But if it's a coaching related question, it can go to coaching@northsouth.org, and contest related, it can go to contest@northsouth.org. And prep club related, you can send to workshops@northsouth.org. But if in doubt, you can just send it to support@northsouth.org, and we can forward it internally. And thanks to all the panels, all our coordinators who have shared all the information that is needed for any new parent to get to know about North-South. And we welcome all the new parents and students to the North-South family. And like our champion kids have shared, that you'll also have a fulfilling experience with North-South, and we can build on the mission and values that Dr. Balu had shared at the beginning of the presentation. And this recording will be, I mean, we are recording this session, right? So we'll be sharing with all the attendees and also the people who have registered by email by tomorrow. A link will go out with the recording. We will also try to upload it to our YouTube channel so that parents who may have missed today's session will probably be able to, or if you would like to go back to some section of the presentation, you can look at on our YouTube channel. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also look at on our Facebook page for further updates from the coaching team and contest team. And we strongly encourage to register early if you would like to participate in our offerings, so you can make the best use of our programs. And thanks to all our young volunteers, coaches, and thanks to our coordinators for facilitating this information session. Hope it was useful to all the parents. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vinay.
Thank you.
Thanks.